How's everything been since this? Oh,
It's quiet.
since the spring, how everything's been?
It's been good. I think our guys have had a great summer. Got a chance as a coaching staff, obviously, to take a little bit of time and recharge, but feel really good about the enthusiasm level of all the guys, and I think everybody's excited to go get after it here tomorrow.
Where did you challenge Miller in particular over the course of the summer to make the biggest strides?
Miller is pretty self-motivated. So, whenever there's something that he feels like he needs to improve on, we certainly collaborate on that. And, all the quarterbacks have done a great job of identifying some of the things from spring ball, that we could have done better as a collective group and attack those things. Got a chance to in the summertime. We always take 4 or 5 quarterbacks from the NFL, that we think kind of have similar skill sets to our guys. And we study those guys pretty in depth and try to steal from some of the good things that they do and try to talk football and learn.
Who were those guys for Miller? Some of those guys.
Oh, we looked at, we watched Matt Stafford. Obviously, he's a guy that plays in tremendous rhythm. We watched Kirk Cousins. There were a handful of other guys. Those are 2 of the ones that come to mind right now that we kind of dove into and watched some of the things that they do really well as far as how they play in rhythm, how they do a great job staying in the pocket, taking hits, delivering the ball. So I think there were a couple others that we watched as well, but those are the 2 that kind of stood out.
When you say dive into them, are you spending hours and hours watching tape? Are you what's that process look like?
Oh, it's typically just a cut up, and they'll pull plays that they really like, and then we'll put one big cut up together, and we'll kind of let each guy hold the clicker and kind of talk through, what they learned from that play, whether it was something footwork related, something coverage identification related, something accuracy related. So we can always learn from each other, and it's good to get those guys talking. And I thought it was a good little tool for us this summer.
How is just Jaden progressing in terms of the biggest areas of growth and development for him from when he first came in, and do you feel like he might be in a position where he can push Miller a little bit, even though
I
it
think
seems to be
the focus for Jaden right now is just every day to just become the best version of himself. I think for him, just learning the language, because obviously when you come from one school to another, there may be some carryover as far as the plays, but how you call them, maybe how you read them. So just the communication piece and just the comfort level, seeing he's made a lot of strides, and then obviously getting to know your teammates and starting to get to know your teammates' whys and what gets those guys going. So I think he's put himself in a good place, and I know he's going to take this thing one day at a time and compete against himself and try to make strides and improve in the areas where we need some growth.
On that communication process, how has that been for you and Coach Riley? You've kind of taken over the room now, and he gets to focus more on being a head coach.
We communicate every day as far as, what we want to cover in meetings. Because Coach Riley's certainly going to have an immense presence with our QBs. He's the play caller, runs the offense. So, it's going to be teamwork. But, we communicate every day as far as what things that he may want to cover, things that I'll cover. But that's something that we'll take 10, 15 minutes every day and go through as far as who's going to cover what specific things he wants to make sure, that they hear from them, from him. And so it goes hand in hand. It's good. It's a great situation. I know for myself personally, learning from him and the way that he teaches and communicates to these guys is certainly unique and certainly very, very special. So, I try to do a really, really good job, but when he does step aside for other responsibilities to make sure that our quarterbacks are hearing the same language and are being taught the same things.
What specific things have you kind of taken on here and there that he might have, shouldered or tried to get more involved in the past?
Say it one more time, please.
Yeah, what specific things have you kind of taken on that he might have shouldered a little bit more frequently?
I don't think there's anything he's completely relinquished. I think it's just kind of a mix and balance of how much time we're going to spend on each thing. So I don't think there's anything that he's not doing anymore. But given the time frame, we may divide and chop it up as far as what he wants to emphasize each day.
Speaking of communication, the helmet communication, anything specifically you guys are doing to prepare the quarterbacks? Are you drawing anything from the NFL? What do you do on a practice basis to get the guys ready for it?
I think that's kind of a work in progress, and obviously, that goes into something that could be strategic. So I'm probably going to keep that one to ourselves.
As a
it been any different at all preparing for different defenses this year, going up against some new teams?
You know, obviously right now the big focus on training camp is to make sure you focus on our own development as a football team. So, you know, for me to sit and tell you that we've spent hours and hours and hours, yes, we've watched the film, but right now these next couple weeks especially are really just focused on us, our team, who we are, what's our identity going to become. And then, you know, when you get into the different leagues, I mean, football's football. There's certainly some teams that are going to have a little bit different schemes. But, you know, we've all been doing this long enough. You know, people are going to play cover one, cover two, quarters coverage. Some teams like to blitz more than others. You know, so really for us, it's a focus on us and continue to build this thing and grow and get better as a unit and as a football team.
What are some of Miller's best attributes as a leader?
Miller cares about people. I think that's one thing that he is a true, genuine person that cares about our guys on and off the field. So I think our players feel that he's certainly someone that if they need him in any scenario, he's going to be there for his teammates. And he loves football, and you know he loves to pour into his teammates. And you know, quarterbacks in a sense can kind of be like the extension of your coaching staff on the field. So he obviously has a really, really good knowledge of the system, and he does a great job of sharing that with his teammates and kind of being an extra coach on the field.
In terms of how you like to attack defenses, what are the strengths of his that you kind of want to lean into this year?
Oh, I don't think there's anything that's off the table with him. You know, Miller has really done a great job of developing himself as an athlete from the time that we got here to where we're at now. And he can make all the throws. And certainly, you know, from an intelligence standpoint, you know, he's definitely one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. So really everything that we have in our offense, you know, we're going to have at our full disposal with Miller.
Where do you want to see Miller grow to get himself to the next level?
You know, I think just continuing to do the things that he's doing now. Like, he has really good awareness. Like I said, he's a guy that over the last 2 years has really improved himself athletically. You know, so for us, at the end of the day, to be successful, we got to execute and produce. And I know that every day he's working towards that to the very best of his ability.
There's been a lot of talk about what you guys have to do to be ready for the Big Ten. What is it that you think you're going to throw at the Big Ten that maybe they might not be ready for, that they may have to adjust to?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Obviously, for us, we're really, really excited to be in the Big Ten. You know, when you think about some of the matchup opportunities that we're going to have, but at the end of the day, to be honest with you, we have a singular focus to go out there every single day and improve as a football team, improve as an offense, improve as a quarterback group. So really right now our focus is on us and making sure we put ourselves in position that when we do play those opponents, that we're going to give them everything they want.
How much has Coach Riley emphasized we're going to stay who we are amidst all this talk about all the things you have to change and adapt to?
Yeah, we're just going to become the best versions of ourselves. That's all you can do is identify your strengths, you know, find out some of the things that we need to improve on and work relentlessly and tirelessly every day to improve and get better as a football team.
How's Lincoln been handling it? You know, with not doing the quarterback room as much anymore. Has it been? It's been a struggle for him.
No, he's you know he's very, very involved, and you know Coach Riley does a great job of really incorporating himself with the entire offense, and he's got such a great presence about him. He's got such a great joy and love for the game. So I really don't think that anything for him is really changing. Obviously, for myself, I'm excited. You know, my background has been in quarterback play, so I'm just excited to be a part of that group, and I'm excited to work side by side with Coach and support him and help out and contribute any way I can.
Have you been on other teams where you had a quarterback like Caleb Williams, you had someone that was just a superstar, and then you transitioned to someone else to try to become that next superstar? And, you know, is there challenges trying to do something like that?
You know, the beauty of this situation is that, you know, we've been very fortunate and blessed here, but we're excited about moving forward and coaching the guys that we have here. And we got a great group, and they got great attitudes, and we're just excited to get better each and every day.
Coach Henson said you could feel the momentum that you guys gained in the Holiday Bowl. It's carried over. Do you feel like it has?
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, for us, that was a lot of our younger players got the opportunity to play in that football game, and guys that we knew were capable of doing some things, and they got a chance to display that. Obviously, Miller being one of them, getting to play in that game. So I definitely feel like there's a momentum from the game. I also felt like, you know, just the whole attitude and the whole culture of the football team throughout the bowl preparation. You could feel that kind of carrying over. I definitely agree with that statement. And we just got to each day remind ourselves of who we want to be and how we want to do things. But certainly excited about the direction of our team.
Miller has said that going against this defense each day has made him a better quarterback. How does this defense challenge quarterbacks?
It's a multiple system, and just fundamentally they do a really, really good job, and they got good football players over there. But hats off to our defensive staff, great group of guys, and in addition to being really good coaches, we have a great group of men. And I think more important than anything is you get an entire staff that's all going in the same direction, a staff that really cares about each other, and a staff that all they care about is getting better together as a team. So I think the combination of some of the new coaches and the schemes they've put in have certainly, created more competition in practice, and it's been a lot of fun. But definitely excited to get the opportunity to grow and compete with those guys and get better as an overall football team.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sure, thanks. All right, that was Luke Huard, quarterback coach, and we're going to hear from Anthony Jones up next. And we got Keely. We're what?
I was just looking at.
We're still streaming.
Account. Oh, hi.
Keely, yours here.
Hello, everybody. For USCFootball.com, I'm Keely Orr.
Do you guys remember that? Yeah, it thinned out a little up here at the podium where before it was a little crazy. But yeah, we're going to hear from the running backs coach next, and then we'll have two more groups after that. But we initially were just going to stick with Jones, but the way they're doing this is they're kind of letting each coach come up and speak for about half the time. So we are just going to keep the stream going for the entire half hour or so and get both coaches as they're up here. So they're bringing him up there right now, and we'll get him on the podium next. The only new offensive assistant on the staff. Thank you guys for watching everything. I'm going to lower the screen a little because Luke was kind of tall. All right, he's coming up now. Thank you guys for sticking with us. There he is.
Good. How y'all doing?
How was the offseason for you so far?
Off season was good. It was a little busy with the transition, moving my family up from Texas. But other than that, it's been awesome getting around the guys, and with the changes with the NCAA rules, we can spend more time with the guys than we normally could in the past. So it's been really fun from a personal standpoint and from an athletic standpoint as well.
It was such a quick turnaround for you to get in and start spring camp. What was it like now that you've been able to kind of catch your breath?
I don't know if I've still caught my breath yet or not, but it has. It slowed down some. But like I said, it's been exciting. It's been fun just to be around the offense, be around the staff. Obviously, seeing the guys back this summer has been a joy of mine. I think that my daughters back home were ready to kind of see me leave and go back to work. So, but it's been really fun.
Coach Riley and the staff approached you. What kind of drew you to this place and got you excited about coaching here at SC?
Yeah, I think it was two things. Number one, it was Coach Riley. Right? I had a chance to work with his brother Garrett at TCU, who is one of the best human beings God's ever created. And surely you think the same thing about Lincoln Riley as well, and that's true. And then obviously it's USC, right? There's no better program in the country than USC. I grew up watching USC back in the heyday, and obviously to get a chance to move to LA. Never lived on the West Coast before, so that's exciting. And just to know about the history and the tradition of this place and all the great players and coaches that have been here, and obviously this tremendous fan base were all part of the reasons why I decided to come to LA.
When you look at this group with Woody and Amarian and Quentin, do you see them more as complementary or different skill sets that can do different things in certain schemes and packages?
So what's unique about this room is that they are very similar, but they're so uniquely different as well. I've been a part of running back rooms, albeit at the University of Memphis or even at TCU, where you have the strong, powerful back, and then you have your more shifty, speedier back. I think these 4 guys, with the addition of Brian Jackson as a true freshman, I think those guys are all your bigger backs, but all of them bring something unique to the table. You know, Quinn has the ability to take a play 60, 70 yards because of his shiftiness, and Woody is very experienced. He has the ability to catch the ball at the backfield. I think he's probably the leading receiver in Mississippi State history from the running back position. So all those guys bring a unique skill set, but they're a fun bunch to coach.
The Texas guys.
They got a lot of Texas guys. You got 3 out of 4 from Texas, and Wood is from Old Georgia, so that's pretty cool.
How is that relationship building going with the California recruits? I know you can't talk about names specifically. But
Yeah, it's going really good. Like I think this state has a tremendous high school football recruiting base. I'm a running back junkie, so I think there's some really talented running backs here in the state. I'm also a former high school coach as well. So building a relationship with the high school coaches here has been fun. Getting on the road this spring and going up to different parts of California, just building a relationship with those guys has been tremendous. And had a chance to work some camps this summer and see some guys work, and had a chance to catch a couple of spring workouts, which was fun. So I think California is a homegrown talent for a recipe of a good football program.
What's the biggest difference making that jump from high school to college?
It's not really much of a jump, you know. It's just the learning curve of each individual offense that I've been a part of. Right, I've had a chance to work with some of the greatest minds of offensive college football. You think of guys like Mike Norvell and Ryan Silverfield and Sonny Dykes, and obviously we mentioned Garrett Riley earlier. Right now, I'm working with Lincoln Riley. It's just the terminology of it, but the reason why I coach, and I think the reason why people get into this business, is to help the young men out. So that was still the forefront of it, right? Whether I was a high school coach or now coaching collegiate football, my number one goal is to help young men grow from point A to point B. I think that's been the smooth transition for the most part.
Is there going to be any more extra motivation to prove you guys belong in the new conference?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know we get a lot of talk about the Big Ten and the new conference and stuff. I think the thing that makes me so happy about this season and excited, I think our young men and our staff really just kind of blocks it all out. You know, we just kind of work on ourselves. As long as we can control USC, to us, that's what matters. You know, our thought process and our mindset is just to get 1% better every day. Just to focus on the things that we can focus on, control the things that we can control, and I think the rest will take care of itself. Yeah, I've coached some really good ones, man. I've had the opportunity to work with guys like Darrell Henderson and Kendre Miller and Amari DeMarcado, who's from LA, who's now with the Arizona Cardinals. He's kind of a mixture of everybody a little bit, you know. So he has the smoothness and the grace that Darrell had back at the University of Memphis, but he also has the shiftiness ability that Tony Pollard had at the University of Memphis, but he has the vision like Kendre Miller at TCU, and he has work ethic like Amari DeMarcado. So I think Woody is the total package. You know, he can kind of do it all, whether it's carrying the ball, whether it's protecting the passer, whether it's receiving the ball. You'll kind of see him evolve in the special team game as well. So he's unique. He's a lot different than what I've coached in the past.
Have you set any room goals, any goals specifically for the running backs that they have to achieve this year?
My number one rule is just have both individual growth and a group growth. And you can measure it in a lot of different ways. You know, we use a grading system for those guys every day. And that's probably being a high school teacher in me. I still kind of grade them guys daily. But just how can we improve from day 1 to day 2? How can we improve from day 2 to day 3? Obviously, when you talk about the tangible things like taking care of the football is obviously a huge goal for us. Keeping the quarterback upright, pass protection, no mental assignments, no buzz. And then how can we just do a great job of just active recovery? And I think those guys really starting to take hold to that and just learn the nuances of that. Because being a running back, right, you're one of the only positions in football that's, number one, running every play, and then obviously you're getting hit every play, right? And I think that's unique when it comes to the running back position. So they really have a good goal of just simply staying healthy and taking care of their body.
How important is it to have a running back reach that 1,000-yard milestone? It's been since 2017 since USC's produced a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah, I think it is a milestone that obviously if you're a running back, you want to achieve that, right? Like I'm pretty sure if you playing the new NCAA college football, it's a race to who can get to 1,000 yards first. But I don't think that's the end all be all. I think as long as the team is having success, my guys don't really care about reaching that 1,000-yard milestone. We just want to win. We want to do our part to help us win. Now, in the process, I do think that we can get to that milestone. When you look at the offensive mindset of Coach Riley and what Coach Henson does on the offensive line and Coach Hanson does with tight ends and Luke and Dennis with the receivers, I think it's a collective effort of getting that milestone for sure.
Are you dusting the other running backs at NCAA? Are you showing them the ropes?
You know what?
Did you
I
play it in
haven't.
the previous iteration?
So yes, back when I was in school, I played it. I was at Chattanooga, and back then they did have the FCS programs on it, right? And I think my rating was like a 69, but I was like an 83 speed, so I was pretty cool. It was terrible as an overall program. But my wife did buy the game for me, and she bought the game coming off a vacation. And here's a funny story. We was in Orlando, Florida on vacation when the glitch happened, right? When the airplanes were grounded. So it was a debacle of trying to get back, and I thought I was going to have to drive from Orlando to LA, but thank God I didn't. And I was extremely frustrated, and she had the game waiting on me when I got home, so I kind of just locked myself in a room for 24 hours straight and just
made it a little better.
Yeah, I created USC, and I think all my running backs had 1,000 yards on the game, So now I play on the lowest level. I'm not really advanced to play on the highest level yet. So.
You say, are you like running 80% of the time?
No, I'm running 95% of the time. I think Miller and the quarterbacks probably had like 500 yards total the whole season. Sorry, Zach.
When you guys have your position group meetings and you got stuff up on the film, what's the first thing you want to point out? Is it pass blocking? Is it what assignment are you pointing out?
Yeah, so I like teaching it from the ground up. Right? I like for them to be in the right alignment first, right? So the play can't get off if you're not in the correct spot. So I like guys to be in the right position first, and then we talk about the footwork aspect of it, and then we carry out our assignment. Now, obviously, you have run, pass options, run plays, pass plays, but then you want to just work the technique of it, right? So what I like to do, I like to show them something on paper, whether it be digital or on the laptops or physical paper, then I show a clip of it. Then I show a clip of our practice, then I show a clip of somebody else doing it, and I may use the NFL clip. So I try to use a variety of ways to capture their attention and make it interactive for them. And just as much as I'm up talking, I want those guys to be talking as well. I want those guys to have a dialogue and not just like a classroom setting, if that makes sense.
Anthony, you've talked about it a little bit in the past, but working with Garrett, for a couple of years there, what was just the interest in working with Lincoln, seeing how their offensive systems compare and the overlap there?
Yeah, well, I mean, you mentioned the name Lincoln Riley, right? You think of one of the greatest play callers in all of college football, probably one in the history of college football, right? I mean, you talk about a man who coached 3 Heisman winners, three number 1 draft picks, and had a countless numbers of All-Americans, and his offense ranks always at the top of the NCAA leaderboards, right? But all of that was fine, but I think the thing that really drew me to Lincoln was his brother Garrett and just how great of a person that each of them are. They're just genuine people, very humble people. Right? He doesn't carry himself like Lincoln Riley, like people know him. He's a colleague. He's a head football coach of a really great program, but he's probably one of the most down-to-earth people that you ever meet in your life. So I think that's what drew me to Garrett and to Lincoln as well. And I had a great thing going at TCU, obviously, but you want to take the next step in your career path, and you want to help this program go out and reach leaps and bounds and championships and win a bunch of games in the process.
What similarities do you think the two of them share?
Oh, they talk just alike.
Philosophy?
Oh, offensive philosophy?
Okay,
No.
well, that too.
Yeah, I mean, the plays are plays, right? So, like, smash concept is smash concept, curl flat is curl flat. One calling one thing, the other one calling the other thing. But like I said, they're both just great people and genuine people. A lot of philosophies are the same, but the terminology is different. So that's kind of more of a mental thing for me more than anybody else.
How so do they talk? How do they talk LA? Sorry.
They got that Texas accent, I mean, it's pretty cool, so I can't really describe it. I wish I could talk like them, but I can't.
Student body right, student body left, is that still part of the playbook?
Yeah, I don't know if we call it that no more, but yeah, we might pull it out first game of the season against LSU. Who knows, right? It works on NCAA college football, though. I know that much.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you.